Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel, Spiritual Justice Gem. You can call me Quita or Goddess Quita. I answer to both. We're just gonna get right into this video. This is a little story time. I'm sharing this because, y'all, we're gonna take better care of our health. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Just had a beverage. I'm just gonna tell you a quick story time about my life. Particular, I was young. It was in my young years, and I ain't always been on this like abstinence thing. And I do believe in God, but I'm not a religious person. I did grow up in religion, but I'm not like a religious person at all. Even though I talk about the Bible a lot, I do a lot of my tarot readings and stuff. I'm not very religious because the Bible is really practical if you understand what you're reading. But when I was younger, I was dating this guy. He was HIV positive, and at the time, I did not know he was HIV positive. He did not disclose it to me, but I did use condoms within the relationship when we first started, and then after about 4 or 5 months, it may even be in 6 months, because I can remember, it's been so long ago, I can remember at a point in time we had that conversation about not using a condom, and I specifically asked him, you have anything, and I really believed he would have told me if he had something at the time, but nope, he lied. So excuse me, long story short, he ended up cheating on me with a neighbor that lived two doors down from us, because I was living with him at the time. Well, not really living, but you know how you young and he has a place. He's older than me. He was like sorry guys, my alarm. He was like maybe 8 years older than me. Yeah, he's 8 years older than me. I was like 21 at the time, maybe even younger than that, maybe 20. And he was like he was like 8 years older than me. So I really trusted him. I knew him since childhood. So it wasn't like some stranger or whatever, somebody I met on the street or on dating app. I knew him. I had a crush on him since I was a child. He had a crush on me since we was younger. It was just that thing. And my mom ended up dying, and I had to move with my grandma out of state, into another whole city, which was like 200 to 300 miles away from each other, and they didn't really know where I was because I was young. But long story short, he ended up cheating on me with this girl. So the girl that I was his cousin. And the lady was of another nationality, so they think black people look alike. Anyways, back in that time, you feel me? I don't know what they think now. I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. But so she ended up I ended up catching them together, cheating or whatever. She was like, I thought you was his girlfriend. I thought. She said, because why would you be cussing him out like that? I used to cuss him out like every day. He would do stuff just to get on my nerves, to make me mad, just so he could see me angry because he thought I was cute. Anyways, what happened after that? Yes. Okay, so I end up knowing about her. I cried, and he's like, how many people that sat in that same spot on that same couch and cried the same tears you're crying right now? And I'm like, oh yeah, bet. And so when he said that, I immediately stopped crying. I don't know, I feel like I'm a freaking beast at times, because I can deal with some pain, y'all. I don't know where it comes from, but I can carry some pain. So I ate it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna eat this. After he said that, I told him. I wiped my face, picked myself up. I took a deep breath. Yo, I'm laughing right now because I'm over it. That was some painful stuff, but I'm over it. I can do nothing but laugh. So he ended up he watched me. He was just looking at me, and I just picked myself. I said, you know what? I love you. I really do. I'm not gonna leave you right now. I'm gonna leave you when I get ready. And then he was like, you crazy, you crazy, you crazy. I said, call me what you want to call me. I don't care. I said, I'm gonna leave you when I get ready. And I knew he was with that girl at that time. But long story short, he ended up cheating on me and the girl with another girl. So I'm like, okay. I went out the other girl, so we both like put our hands on him. Like his friends was in the apartment and everything, and I locked him out. He had a pet scorpion, and I tried to throw that. I tried to throw it on him. I'm not even gonna lie. I tried to throw the whole tank on him, and he was mad. He said, "You know what? I beat women, but I'm not gonna beat you because I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. I know you right. I know you ain't doing nothing wrong to me. I'm not gonna put my hands on you, but you better open this door." And I told his friends, I say, anybody open this door, I don't care, any door, any window in here, it's gonna be lit in here. And so, y'all, this story is kind of like y'all get to see my little crazy because I don't want nobody to think I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I am who I am. So none of his friends did not open up the door or window. He was like, man, it's all y'all, it's none of y'all in there. It's one of her. And you gonna let her run things like this? He was saying other words. He was saying cuss words. You gonna let her run? You gonna let her do this? You gonna let her do this? I'm like, y'all know what it is. So he was like, They know my mama and they know how my mama rolls. So it was like, she belonged to such and such. She's such and such child. We ain't messing with her. So long story short, I ended up going outside getting a water hose and beating him with it, and she was holding him down, the other girl. And so he was like, y'all done? I got rocks all over me. I should have called the police. I said, tell them what? Yo, I was a big bad wolf for a moment. I admit, I used to be toxic. And so, long story short, after that time I left. I didn't even tell him I left. I just left. Couldn't take it no more. It was too toxic. It was too much going on. Excuse me, y'all. Hello? Sorry about that. That was some kind of... I am not gonna cut that out because I don't. This is the third time I'm trying to make this story time for you guys. But long story short, I ended up leaving him. I went back to my baby daddy, who already had a son by, and then we ended up having another baby. I think it was like 18 months or 2 years later. This particular gentleman called me. He ended up marrying the girl, the neighbor from two doors down. He ended up marrying her. And he called me one day when they had gotten in an argument. I don't know where he got my number from. I still had the same number. I don't even know where yeah. He said he got my number. No, I didn't have the same number. He said he got my number from one of my people. Because all of my people, we're from the same place. So he know all my family where we live at. So let me put it that way. So he got my number from one of my people. He was like, you a hard person to find. Now mind you, the whole time in the background, he done married the neighbor from two doors down. After I left him, she in the background the whole time talking mess. Oh, talk to her. You want to talk to her old friend? The whole argument was about me in the back. I'm like, what is she talking about? I haven't been there. He said, he was like, I know. He said, but just because you ain't been here don't mean your name ain't been brought up. She bring up your name every other day. And she was like, tell me why I bring up her name every other day. He was like, because I told her I loved you. I was like, ooh. I was like, you did what? Me, I was just shocked. I'm like, So, he was like, I miss my best friend. All she want to do is argue and yell and da-da-da this and da-da-da-that. He's like, you ain't never do none of that. You ain't never do none of that. Because one thing about me, I don't keep no nigga that don't want to be kept. You know what I mean? That was always my motto. I don't keep no ninja that don't want to be kept. You don't want to be kept? Cool, that's alright with me. That's cool. I keep it pushing. And so he ended up telling me She was like, go ahead and talk to her. Go ahead and talk to her. Go ahead and talk to her. So he said, because she was like, I guarantee you, she got what I got. She got what I got. And so I'm just like, huh? I was like, what is she talking about? He was like, you know, because I gave her that he called it something else. It was a derogatory name. It was like a cuss word, but he was like, I was like, mister, I just had a baby. Like, my son was literally 2 days old. I had just came from the hospital the day before. And he was like, you had what? Man, because he always wanted me to get pregnant for him. I never got pregnant. I used to take my birth controls faithfully. He didn't never know I was on birth control, but I used to take them faithfully. He just thought it was like this ultimate thing to have a baby by me. And I'm just like, no sir, not by you. And then he had another crazy baby mama that he had 5 kids with. I didn't know until I was in a relationship with him. I never knew he had kids because I was young, so I didn't have any kids at the time. Well, yeah, I had one, and he saw my baby. Yeah, I had one baby, and he saw my baby, so it was understood that I had kids, but he didn't tell me he had kids until after we was in our relationship. And I was young, I didn't even ask. So long story short, he ended up saying, I know you got that itch. I know you got that itch. I'm like, I don't got nothing. Miss, I just got out of the hospital. My baby literally is 2 days old, literally, barely. And he was just like, oh, he said, so you got that itch? I'm like, I just got tested. I don't got nothing, mister. I have nothing. Because I got defensive. Me, when I get defensive, I talk to people proper. Because, I don't know, when people are combative with me, I do not become combative with them. I'm not going to yell and scream at you. So, when he was saying that, he calmed down. He was hurt that I had the baby. He was like, oh, you had a baby? You could tell he was crying. And she was in the background. His wife was in the background. Like, you crying because she had a baby? You could tell she was furious. She was lit. She was furious. So, long story short, that that hurt him. And then he found out that I didn't have HIV. So he was like, man, I done slept with a lot of girls and I gave every one of them HIV. And I'm just like, what? I was like, quit playing. I didn't even know he had HIV until that, two years after I had my baby. Like, it was almost 2 years after our relationship. I was, yeah. So, imagine 2 years, and I'm just like, what? The whole time, and I specifically asked him, do we have anything? I just took his word. He was lying, you guys, lying. So, when he figured out that, I said, I just had a baby 2 days ago. I have no reason to lie. My baby daddy is of a different culture. He's from a whole nother country. Like, he would, like, off me instantly. Like, I already knew who I was dealing with. So, I'm like, if I had that, I would sit here and say, yeah, I would not deny it. Like, what are you talking about? So, he was like, oh, you didn't get it. You the only girl that I didn't give it to. I gave it to every other girl that I slept with. He was like, you must be protected. Because when I was with him, all the time he would say, because my mom had died when I was 10, he would say, oh, your mom come and she just lean over. She says, when I open my eyes, she in my face. He was heavy into, like, witchcraft, voodoo. All the time he used to play with me. He said, I'm going to take your panties. I'm gonna do something this, and I'll put them in a river. Some ish he used to say to me. He used to scare the ish out of me. He used to scare me so bad. All my products that I use, like, during, that time of the month for the woman, I used to take it straight to he never seen me. He was like, I never seen you on your cycle, because he used to say all that stuff to me. You will never. He said, I never know you on your cycle. Only way I know, because we don't engage in sexual contact. So he was like, what do you do? Like, I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm so petrified. So, long story short, I didn't get it. So I ended up going back to my 6-week appointment, telling my doctor what happened. They tested me again, and they told me if it's been over a year, even 6 months, it would have been shown up. So I made a mission after then to always get tested, and if I don't test people, at least wear a condom and never take anybody's word for excuse me, for proof or anything, especially when it comes to that. If you go get papers, make sure they have papers. So you get what I'm saying? Because you never know what somebody got, and if you can't do that, it's just like a fling thing. At least wrap it up, keep it safe, keep you safe, keep them safe. But a long story short is, like, he played with me and he got played in the end. He played himself. And a lot of people think, like, I be doing this on purpose. No, it's just the way that I'm set up. This is the way I am. And it's the way the divine set me up. Like, I don't know what to tell you. This is the energy I was born in. So, long story short, he ended up hurting himself. And he was like, I just miss my best friend. Because we had been friends since I was, young. I just left because my mom died and my grandma took custody of us and my granddaddy. And so we had history and we had crushes on each other since childhood. And even though I knew her from childhood, it just goes to show you can't take nobody's word for anything. They have to have papers. I mean, you can if you feel like it, but me, I have to have papers, and that's why I like the person that I went now. He's more meticulous about it than I am. He's anal about it. He's more anal about it than I am. And I kind of like that because it eases up on me having to be that way, but that's how I stayed out of the HIV pandemic, I'm going to put it that way, because I just carried myself in a different way, and I had requirements, and I had different rules that I went by, and I stuck to them. Yes, it has been instances where, the condom pops, or the person I'm with took the condom off, yes, and I just thank God that I'm covered by the grace of God, not because, I'm better than anybody. It's just that, I could have been that too, just by dealing with people like that. So I learned very quickly that people will not tell you their status. They will not. They will hide it from you. And that being said, you guys, just try to stay safe out here. There's a lot of people walking around with it. I know they say they have stuff that's make you undetectable, but you have to understand everybody's immune system is a little different. We all have immune system. They built toward the same. They do kind of the same stuff, but just like I have this rare thing where I have a title. I'm an identical twin, and I'm the second twin. So I have a high level of antibiotics that I was born with in my body because I was left hooked to the placenta longer, and when the second twin is left longer, they get more of the antibodies and stuff, and so I have a title that's built up naturally, and it's hard for me to get anything, and it's hard for me to, like, even after having babies and stuff, I'm like right back into to life. Like, it's like I didn't have a baby, but you see the baby there, and people like, how's she doing? I remember my auntie was like, you just had a baby and you doing what? Yes. I'm that type of pregnant person. I'm a very good pregnant person. So even I had a surgery on my stomach, you guys, and the doctor was like trying to give me oxycodone, and I can't take that stuff. I mean, I can, but it's that stuff. I took it one time after another surgery that I gotten. I didn't wake up for 2 days. I cannot take stuff like that. It worked too good for me. I do not take stuff like that, and I had to end up throwing them out because I just took what they told me to take, and I didn't want to take it in the first place. I'm like, why I gotta take it? I'm not in the pain. They was like, take it. You gotta be in pain. You gonna be in pain. I took one, and child, I didn't wake up for 2 days. They could not wake me up for 2 days. So I don't take. This is why I don't do drugs, because like, who wants to be sleeping in a coma for 2 days for taking drugs? I can't. And they will say that's because you don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't do nothing. I never consistently smoked. I never consistently drank. I had tried weed, I drank occasionally, seasonally, but I never it's not a habit of mine. It's not a go-to of mine. So they was like, it's because you don't do it. I don't believe that. I just believe that some people everybody is different. Everybody's body is different. My body either do too well with stuff, or I don't believe in taking drugs like that. Like, that's okay. I'd rather be in pain before I could take something. If I got a headache or something, of course I'm gonna take a Tylenol. But that strong stuff like that, I just don't. They end up telling me to take some Advil. So that's what I'm gonna do, Mister. If I have to pay, that's what I'm gonna do. Cause waking up for 2 days is not an option for me. So, yeah. And even after I had surgery, like they said, cause I went in to get my tubes tied, and they told me, like, I woke up immediately. It's like, you're such a good surgeon person. Like, no, I've never seen nobody like you. I never. Like, as soon as the medicine hits your veins, it's like you woke right up. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, can I leave? They was like, no, we have to observe you for 24 hours. And they was just shocked that I'm like, I'm not in pain. I'm not hurting. Not from the tubalization, but from, I had to get a hernia repair and all of that. And they was just like, oh my god, like, they just loved me. And then when I was having kids, the people that do the oath, oh, your uterus is so wonderful, it's a little tilted, which make it great for conceiving. I'm just like, what? He's like, your womb is immaculate. I'm just like, what? I was like, Mister, talk about this. Like, y'all, they didn't tie my, after the filter, I knew I wanted 5 kids. I tried to get my tubes tied. They would not tie them. They did not tie them. It was like, why? You have such a good womb. Oh, but I didn't take care of them. Like, what am I understand? Like, I'll tell them, maybe I have them come give it to you. You gonna carry it. You gonna take care of it. You gonna care for this baby because, yes, what are you doing? So he was like, I see why you get pregnant so easy. It was just like, what? So I have always this healing quality to my life. That's how I know I'm a healer. It's so many instances, there's so many different things that happen over my life to let me know that I'm a healer, that I can heal other people. And that's another reason why I'm on here, why I'm sharing this story, because I don't want you guys to think I'm perfect, because I'm not. It's just I don't live. If I get an off vibe, I'm not gonna be there, and if I'm there, I'm leaving. It's just that you would think I'm an introvert, but I am, but I'm an extrovert too. Like, I am very outgoing in my environment. Like, in my house, and I'm comfortable. Oh my God, I be lit. My kids be like, but we're the kids, Mom. You're the parent. You're not supposed to be acting like this. I said, says who? I was a child once before, and I could be a child again. Don't get me wrong, I'm not immature, but I'm goofy. I love to goof off with my kids. I love to let them know it's okay to have fun. It's okay to be human. It's okay, like, but I also teach them to be safe, and because that's the way I was. I was always safe, and I never go nowhere that if I'm uncomfortable, that means I don't need to be there. You know what I mean? So I just listen to my body. I just listen to my intuition, especially if I have this gut wrenching feeling about something. Oh yeah, it's a no. I don't care how much you try to like peer pressure me. It's a no. It's a no. So yeah, you guys, I know this is a long video, but I hope you enjoyed this story time. I hope you pull some nuggets out of it, and if not, I just hope it's entertaining. You get to learn a little bit more about me, and yeah, and why I know I'm a healer. I do have the healer's mark on underneath my pinky on my right hand. That's another indication that I'm a healer. I know it. It's in my bones. It's in my body. I can feel it. But yeah, you guys, I'm out. Peace.